Hello, beginning ballroom dancers. I'm here with Matthew today.
How's it going?
My name is Lydia. We are going to be starting some tango.
Ooh, how
this
exciting.
is class session B and class number 1 of that. So let's show you what we're doing.
Cool. We got a couple of basic steps for you here. We have the tango basic, slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. We have the exciting Corté, slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. And then we have the promenade, slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. Let's try that one more time. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, 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 quick, quick, slow, 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 quick, quick, slow. And there we have it.
So let's start with that basic step. Matthew's going to show us the leader's part.
Here we go, down to my feet. I'm just gonna do it from the side because that'll make the most sense. So I go forward, 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 side, drag. Let me do it from this. So we go slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. On that slow, I'm just moving this foot slowly into the other foot. Not closing, not changing weight like we typically would, because then we're gonna step again with the left foot. There you have it.
For our followers, we're going to be starting going back with our right foot. We're going to go back, 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 side, drag from another angle. We're going slow, slow, quick, quick, drag it in. Same idea, we don't change weight, we just keep our weight on that left foot.
Let's show that just for footwork. We go slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, 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 quick, quick, slow, 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 quick, quick, slow. Notice there the special feature in tango. Most ballroom dances require cornering steps, or when you run out of space, you have to have a turn or something to reorient yourself. In tango, we can actually turn the basic to our left,
Yes.
which is very helpful.
So while we're dancing, Matthew is just simply rotating us a little bit through his torso. I am just responding to that by allowing my steps to turn us a little bit, and that's how we get to move around the floor in one continuous pathway.
The only thing to note, like it's a pretty simple thing to do. That, in my mind, seems like it's complex if I try to break it down to all the details, but it's actually very straightforward.
Totally.
The one thing that you have to keep in mind, though, is that I don't want to step around Lydia. I want to make sure that our centers stay connected with each other, so when I'm turning, I'm making sure my upper body and my lower body are working with Lydia. Cool. The timing of that is slow, slow, quick, quick. Slow, like I said, that's going to be the timing for all of our steps for the time being.
Correct.
A good way to remember that is Tango. Yeah?
Spell tango while you're doing it. So one thing that is also unique to tango is that we don't have any ups or downs. Unlike other ballroom dances where we're kind of lifting and lowering throughout the dance, this one we're just staying at one even plane throughout the entire thing.
And it's actually, we're a little crouched. We're
Yes.
not staying upright.
Right.
So what you can do is get into frame and then lower yourself from your supporting leg a couple of inches, and you'll be in this kind of strange crouched position to start. It's awesome. I don't know why it started this way, but this is the way it is. You go slow, slow, quick, quick, slow.
Notice how we did not change level at all. We stayed in that little crouch the entire time.
That's the reason being is that tango doesn't have that kind of lilting feel that waltz has. It has this driving staccato.
Let's move on to that second step, the corté. This is going to be that iconic sort of lunge position that you see in tango posters.
It's the rose in the teeth moment.
Totally. We love it. It's awesome. Let's go for it.
So rather than stepping forward on the very first step, I'm going to step backwards. So I go back, that's the first slow. Second slow, I just replace my weight there, and I do what's called a tango close, which is really just forward, side, and then the drag.
Yes.
So we replace the first forward step with a back step, replace, and then forward, side, close. Pretty easy footwork there. What are you doing as a follow to make that interesting?
So I'm thinking about taking my weight fully forward with Matthew, and in addition to just stepping instead of just kind of being here, I'm thinking of leaning away from that and keeping my focus over to my left side. So I'll do that facing the other way so you can see. So I'm lunging forward and leaning away, so I get this nice kind of arch going on.
So if you stay there for a second, I talk about this sometimes like she's a bow, and if you imagine the string is here, the string is being pulled, which kind of makes her arch her back.
Yeah, that's a nice image. And then from this position, I'm just replacing my weight onto my left foot, and then again, we tango close.
And for me, it's straight back. I don't want to do anything crazy where I open up like this. I'm stepping back. My foot is open a little bit here, and I'm not doing this or this too much. I'm straight back into this position. If you want to, you can rotate your torso a little bit. You just don't want to make sure you're You want to make sure your hips don't move. So go back here. I could go this way a little bit. Not necessary. Tango close. I think that's it. I mean, frame is an important part here. If you haven't worked on frame, you should go back to some of the more basic videos to work on that. I can show you real quick. Grasp here, connected at the armpit here. And when I step back, I need to make sure that I'm not leaving my arm there.
Yes.
I just keep my frame connected and pull her into me.
Yes. He's also not squeezing me in closer to him. That's something to note. He's just leaving his arm in the same structure, taking himself backward, and then I am feeling that and going with.
I think it was a hook.
A hook.
Yes. She's hooked. In, yeah. Cool.
So let's go with that third step now, the promenade. We're gonna start with the footwork through this step, and then we'll talk about how to actually get into that position.
It's the first time that most of you have probably moved forward together, because typically the follower's going backwards and I'm going forward or vice versa. So this way we're both stepping forward together for 2 steps. Lydia pivots around her foot at that point, and then we do the tango close, which was just that forward side drag.
Another angle.
So we go slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. Easy as that.
The special feature of this one is that our timing is changed ever so slightly.
What do you mean?
So instead of our slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, there's an and count in my motion.
What does that mean?
So we're gonna go slow, slow, and then we continue with quick, quick, slow at the end.
The and is basically, it's not always this in dancing, but it's typically just an action and not a change of weight. So we typically count slows and quicks when we're actually shifting weight. But here it's, like you said, just your action.
Yes.
Which really means we're breaking the slow into 2 separate pieces.
Correct.
So if we count it in numbers, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes. When we're doing this step, let's get to that and moment. We go slow, slow, and instead of just letting myself fling around, Matthew is also giving me an assist through his frame. So we're coming from this kind of twisty place in the step prior to that, and then untwisting to get into this and before we go close.
The way I think about that as a leader, I'm taking my steps here. Notice, we'll just do this without this front end so you can see. Notice that our hips are not facing in the same direction. What I'm trying to do here is ground myself, so when I do this, I kind of tap this toe to the ground to make sure that I'm sturdy, and then I bring Lydia around at the same time so that her hips are facing me, so that we can reorient and go back to the basic step.
Yes. We go from this position of being both sort of facing the same direction to then being facing each other.
Yeah, which means our heads change as well. So when we go into the promenade, and we'll talk about how to lead into this in a second, we both look in the same direction. It's very important that the and moment that Lydia flicks her head back this way, because if she doesn't, most likely she's going to be left open here, and there's no way that we can kind of reconnect there at the end.
Yes. One other important piece for the follower in that and moment, I know we mentioned earlier that we're not changing weight, but let's talk about that a little bit more. When we get there, let's pay attention to my feet. So we're gonna go slow, slow. I'm continuing to stand on this left foot without putting any weight into my right foot. What I see a lot of people do is they get flicked around and then they fall onto that right foot. So really try to keep your weight back. So we go here, and then I'm reaching to my left so that I keep myself on my left foot. So we can then use my right foot again to do that tango.
Leaders will often overlead this as well, which can throw the follower off. So we go slow, slow. If I rotate too much this way, there's no way that Lydia can stay on that foot. All I'm doing is kind of doing a quick little change in my torso to make sure that Lydia comes back to me. Let's talk about how to get into that. This is, I think, one of the most challenging parts because it's counterintuitive.
Yes.
Let's go from this end. So if we just finished a basic step, let's say, but what most people want to do when they enter this step is they open up away from each other like this. And this would be more of a promenade in square dancing, where we walk down the floor.
Nice.
This is a promenade. What that means is I'm going to go against my intuition, which is open this way, and actually bring my chest towards Lydia. Notice what that does, it opens her up. Just her head, not her body. Since it's tango, we have to make that very dramatic. And I like to think of this as taking my pec towards her, but doing it in a very sudden way.
Yes.
What were you talking about the other day? You were talking about swatting a fly with this hand, so if you move very suddenly, it'll kind of scare you into opening up into this. So if I do this just real time, it's just this very sudden shake.
Accentuated by my hair.
It actually makes me want to scream every time. Ah! That takes some practice because when I first start teaching this to people, they just go suddenly open this way. It's towards her, and then you just kind of recoil from there.
Yeah, there's definitely some reverb that has to happen. A lot of times what I see is that people go with a lot of initiation, but then don't bring it back with anything. So
Yeah, that would look something like this.
and then we're just there. Yeah.
We're in this weird position, and I have to step through Lydia in order
good.
to make that work. Also with the frame, we have to make sure that we're doing the same motion with our right side. It's not just here. We have to make sure that we're also moving the right side as well.
Right. Whole frame goes.
Frame stays connected, it's not disconnected. That's another fun one that I see too, where people just move their body like this,
Yes.
and their arms aren't connected to it. I'm like, why aren't you following?
Yes.
Stay connected to your frame always, people.
Totally.
Public service announcement.
Yes. That all happens at the end of our tango basic. So if we put this in context,
Or really at the end of any
correct.
tango close.
Tango close. So let's count that out. So we've been going slow, slow, quick, quick, and then flick there on that last moment of slow.
On the slow, right? So notice what I didn't change my footwork there. I didn't drag in for that tango close. Let's do it from this angle. I just plant my foot slow, slow, quick, quick, and then I take the 2 beats to reorient, and then we go slow, slow, and quick, quick, slow. There we have it, some of the tango basic steps. They're a lot of fun. Listen to some tango music when you do this. You'll hear that staccato action,
Yes.
and it'll feel real then, not just like you're stepping.
Yes.
If you like this video and want to see more like them, make sure you subscribe to this channel.
Also make sure you like, comment, and hit that bell button down below to be notified of our next videos.
We'll see you next time.